Hey everybody, Pejman back with another exotic car hacks video, and today we are going to be talking about Lamborghini values. Now, if you follow anything I talk about here at Exotic Car Hacks, then you're very aware that we are all about buying cars, enjoying them, driving them, and then getting rid of them without losing any money, and in many cases, making money. Now, the difference between our system, our strategies, and a wholesalers is that we don't buy cars cheap, sell them high. We teach you exactly which cars you should be buying, how you should be buying them so that you can enjoy them for 1 year and then get rid of them without losing any money. A very different model than what dealerships do. If you'd like to find out more, or if you're ready to join our community, simply click the link in the description and become an Exotic Car Hacks member today. 15,000 people already have, and they're truly enjoying their experience of exotic car ownership that previously they never thought affordable or possible without going through our course. So 90 days later, they're in their exotics and they're no longer watching YouTube videos, something you should do as well. Now, today we're going to talk about Lamborghini pricing specifically because Lamborghinis have been on fire. If you're following anything that's been happening in the markets lately, you know that the car market is on fire. Reference back to my old videos about what's happening to car values, and you'll understand why I've been talking about this since pre-COVID and how it's playing into what's happening today. I've been right every single month along the way since the beginning, pre-2020. So if you're ready to, again, understand what's happening, I would reference those videos first. But today, we're going to talk about Lamborghini pricing specifically because Lamborghini has been the strongest brand through this shortage supply that's been occurring and has been bringing in record numbers. While Ferraris in the past have been the ones bringing up over sticker and crazy numbers, Lamborghinis are starting to catch up. And Lamborghini production, even though is better than most production right now from Ferrari or anything else, I have multiple Lamborghinis in order and things are moving along versus Ferraris are not, you start to wonder how equipped the companies as a whole for things like what's been happening versus Ferrari that has been lagging behind and getting worse with time. So Lamborghini is climbing as a company. They're doing great. They're making more Ursus than ever before. They're handling the shortage of supply very well and are still continuing to pull out record numbers year after year. But something happened recently that Lamborghini perhaps was anticipating or not, is that used car pricing for Huracans and Aventadors have been to the roof. Aventadors were up almost $70,000, SVJs over $150 from when they were pre-COVID, and Huracans are almost back at sticker. So why is Lamborghini having so much crazy good time with this crazy shortage of supply? And the short answer is we are in an ever-changing platform, and Lamborghini had yet to adopt a lot of what the future is now forcing them to do. People are starting to fear the idea that the Aventador might be the last V12. They're starting to fear the idea that the Huracan will no longer be a V10 but a twin-turbo V8, and therefore things are changing, meaning we are finding more and more people are now starting to stack up and keep their Lamborghinis rather than turn them in for newer models. Now, there has obviously been a shortage of supply across the board, but not enough to warrant some of these things people are doing. So Aventador SVs and SVJs have been going to the roof on the basic principle that these could be the final V12s ever made and the end of a quite an incredible era, with the next wave of cars giving us a preview of it with the Sion that came out with some electric axles, giving the cars an electric hybrid model that could be the platform for the new V12s. Now, in addition to that, the Huracans have been rumored to be going to twin-turbo V8s just to keep up with emission standards. This would mean more power, but it would also mean the end of the almighty V10 that kept Lamborghini alive so long. And people are hanging on to these cars, but I think there is much more. Reality is, I think that the SVJ market and the Performante market are going to stay very, very strong for one simple reason: the ALA systems. I believe that those were such one-off cars from Lamborghini with the Active Aero that it just makes them more valuable in the long term than anything else. Secondly, I think they were very high-quality products that were highly underpriced based on market. We saw competitors like Ferrari make cars that weren't nearly as good for more money. And I think people on the used market started realizing that and started realizing that these cars were undervalued. And I think for a long time, people started undervaluing the V12 Lamborghinis as a whole. We saw the Murcielago pricing going up so high, pushing up the Aventador pricing, pushing up the SV pricing, and now pushing up the SVJ pricing. And I think we're going to continue to see that. Now, I personally have an STO on order, and that price tag is $410,000, which means that it is now coming in $60,000 above a Performante. And this is stock. meaning 60,000 above the highest Performante spec. My Performante is a 350K spec, and it is one of the highest spec Performantes ever made. Now you're looking, this is a coupe, not a spider, and now you're looking at, once again, with STO coupes, which I don't think they're making an STO spider, go into the 410K range. So the cost of money is changing. And even with the limited supply of STOs, you're still going to see pricing go up rather than down. And I think there is, again, kind of this value proposition for people where you can see what can you buy for a competing $400,000. And I think what's happening is people are starting to realize the value the Lamborghini was and why it was undervalued with its track record, its history, and more importantly, something incredible happened with the Performante and the Aventador SVJ was that the reliability was significantly higher than anything we've ever seen anywhere. So this is something you have to truly understand when it comes to Lamborghini. It's the quality, it's the fact that it was undervalued, and it's the fact that it has a very bright future packed with a lot of changes coming up that is gearing people to prepay their Lamborghinis and keep them instead of trading them in. And this is something very, very powerful because it means that Lamborghini pricing could for once start outweighing the rarity and the exclusivity of Ferrari pricing, which also means that with a better dealer network, with better customer support, with more enthusiasm and more involvement with their customers, Lamborghini could single-handedly crush future values of Ferraris. And this is pretty incredible once again, because while Ferrari might have always been the prestigious brand it is, it has died significantly. And sales numbers show that with Lamborghini year after year, killing and crushing their entire competition. McLaren suffering, Ferrari not delivering cars, Lamborghini winning. And I think there's a reason for that. And I think we're going to see more of that. Great price cars, great service, and of course, added value. I mean, look, there is no better car you can buy under $1 million, let alone, I believe, $2 million than an SVJ Roadster from a design standpoint, an excitement standpoint, and what you get. And while you could argue that it's got a clunky gearbox and this and that, there is still nothing better you can buy in that range. Try driving a Senna that's $1 million to $1.5 million for a week, and try driving an SVJ and tell me if you care about the gearbox as much as you care to be in those seats with no windows going up and down to over $1 million with a giant wing that would kill pigeons along the way. So start to think about that and start to see the value in some of the Lamborghini line that's been undervalued and understand why this pricing shift is occurring. We saw this with the Gallardo as well, and I'm not surprised if we continue to see this over the next 12 months. If this has been insightful, tell me what you think in the comments below. Turn on notifications, hit the like button, and of course, let's have a discussion about will Lamborghini continue to crush Ferrari's values over time, or will Ferrari make a comeback with the SF90 line? Because that's gone electric, and a lot more to come with the two cars that we have on order here, a coupe and a spider. Of course, when those cars arrive, we'll do full reviews as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video for Exotic Car Hacks.